Hello everyone, I'm Saxon564 here with a Redstone tutorial for you, as you can tell by the sign. I've got everything from basic, the very basics, to a bit of some harder stuff down the line. So let's get started. Right here, pretty much just displaying the length of redstone. The torches can power up to 15 blocks. If you want to count the piston itself, that makes it 16. So as you can see, this piston is powered while this one isn't. If I move this piston one closer, it will receive the power from the torch down here. Right here is how you can invert a signal. If you place a torch under a block, it powers the block that's above it, shutting the torches that are on that block off. You can do the same thing with wires, so I'll show you that real quick. If we do this, wire it like this, place that, and then the torch is off. So that inverts the signal. If you want a door to be open or closed by default, you can use this type of inverter. So now that we've done that, let me take care of this real quick. There we go. As you can see, this piston is still powered, but it's beyond these two, and that's possible by using this, a repeater. The repeater extends the power produced by the torch by another 15 blocks. You can also add a delay to it. Or with a repeater, it's defaulted to 1 tick. Each tick is 1/10 of a second. So if you have 2 repeaters at full ticks and then a third repeater at 2 ticks, that's 1 second delay. Now right here, levers produce power, but you can also shut it off. This lever manages to reach the piston, while this one does not. I'm not exactly sure the length. It seems 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so the length is 15 from a lever. When I was setting this up earlier, I counted 14. I don't know why, but so that's levers. Doors can be opened and closed using redstone. So if we grab a redstone torch here, if we break this, the door shuts. Place that back down, it opens. Same goes with wooden doors. Now on to pressure plates. Stone pressure. There's 2 types of pressure plates: stone pressure plates and wooden pressure plates. They also have a reach of 15 blocks. Notice that that stone pressure plate powered that piston, but this one isn't powering that one. And then wooden pressure plates are the same, reach up to 15 blocks, but they can also, oh, just a second here. They can also be powered by throwing blocks on them. Or you can shoot them with a bow. Now for the buttons, stone buttons also have a reach of 15. As you can see, that one's getting powered, but that one does not. And wooden buttons are the same, have a reach of 15. But you can shoot a wooden button and keep it powered, while stone buttons, you can't. And the same goes with a stone pressure plate. Shooting it does not cause it to power up. Um, you can use levers to open closed doors, and as long as the lever's on, the door stays open. So it makes it an easy way to get in and out of your house. You can also use a button, but if you see here, the button shuts off after a couple seconds. So that can make it a bit hard to get out of your house if you're using an iron door. I've had that happen quite a bit. I've watched plenty of Let's Play for professionals use that, and they get stuck often. So although this is the safer way of doing it, this using a lever is one of the better ways. I'd use a button for so I can have one on each side of the door. With a lever, if one lever's on, you can't use the other lever to shut it off. So that's the unfortunate thing. Let me set the time back here. Now with tripwires, pretty easy to set up. Just walk over that and it turns it on. Tripwires are pretty useful when it comes to setting up mob traps, because you can extend it over a long distance and still have it work. And if you're playing with a friend and you're trying to kill each other, tripwire traps are almost completely invisible. It's very visible right now on the sandstone, but if I was to put grass under it, you wouldn't really be able to see it. Now onto over here. With sand blocks always fall. If you have a regular piston, if the piston pushes it up, but there's a delay before the sand block comes back down. With a sticky piston, it pushes it up and brings it right back down. And with stone, if you use a regular piston, it pushes it up, but it doesn't come back down. That's pretty much with any block, except this is how it will work with a regular piston with any block except sand and gravel. Sand and gravel are the only two that will fall down. So I could replace that sand with gravel and it would still serve the purpose of that area. And I could put almost anything else on these and it would work the same way. Sticky piston, stone block goes up and then comes back down. Now, there are blocks that are not affected by pistons. Those would be bedrock, dispensers, obsidian, chests, note blocks, furnaces, jukeboxes, ender chests, and ender portal stones, and the enchantment table. And just to show that they are not affected, each of those pistons are powered, but it does not push the item up. Now with minecarts, there's detector rails. You can walk over it, you can shoot at you can do whatever you want with it, but it won't activate unless there's a minecart that goes over it, like so. So because the minecart goes over this, it powers that powered rail, but also gives power to the piston, so it pushes up the stone block. Just a second here. There we go. Now, this is a clock. The purpose of clock serves pretty much the same as what this was doing. It goes around in a circle and then powers it at some point. But with a clock, you use repeaters and you have more control over the time. So right now, this is at 4.2 seconds for every loop. So if we watch it, each repeater is set on 4 ticks, which is 4/10 of a second. And there's 12 repeaters. So that's actually 4.8 seconds, almost 5 seconds for it to do one round. You can change it to however you want. Now it is going at 12 1.2 seconds for each loop. And so you can adjust it however you want. But to do a successful clock, every repeater has to be on the same tick, or else at some point it'll catch up with it and be on forever. It won't shut off at some point. So that's all the basics. Here's a bit harder. These are gates. The next two are gates that you can use to determine when something should happen and under what conditions. So this is an AND gate. It only activates if both of these are on, as such. And how this works is that the repeater is on top of these, and when you push the button, it inverts it. The torch shuts off. Not repeater, torch. So once the torch shuts off, so because these torches are on, this redstone is on, shutting this torch off because the block becomes powered. When both of the torches are on, hold on a second. Let me do this. Okay, so when both of these are on, it shuts both of these torches off, allowing this one to turn on, providing power. This one is a bit different. If either one is turned on, then it provides power. So it doesn't matter if they're both on. If one of them is on, it'll work. If you remove those two blocks, it will become a NOR gate, which is inverted. So this shuts off. Well, it will. I'm not exactly sure how to lay this one out for you, because both of them would have to be off. But an inverted OR gate, that's on, or that turns off when one of these turns on. So with this one, an inverted AND gate, pretty much take that, remove the torch that was on the side, replace it with a piece of redstone, and you've got an inverted AND gate where it's off if both of these are on. Now right here is a T flip-flop. There's multiple different versions. This is the one I like the most. It's the easiest one to make and the most straightforward. The problem with this one is it requires 3 height. The other ones I've seen only require a height of 2 to be built, but I've never really been able to figure them out. So right now, there is a redstone torch under that piece of stone. So the torch is powering that, and the repeater, I haven't covered this yet, but the repeater can grab power from the block behind it. And without the... If you don't want to use redstone, the repeater is your best bet. So right now, this piece of stone is over here, so that's turned on. When I press this button, the piece of stone will move over to this side, and that piston will be pushed. So there you go. The way this works is that when you push that, both of these torches shut off. And when it turns back on, whichever one isn't extended at the time is the first one to extend. So when I do this, both of them are still one of them is still extended. So the other one pushes the one that's extended in, as well as pushing the stone block. Alright guys, that's about it. I know there are some things I did not cover. I will be doing more redstone tutorials, and I'll be showing off some of the creations I've made, though I am not the best with redstone. I've got friends that say I have no life with some of the things I've made, but I definitely have not made all the things that I've seen before. Let's get this moving again. Like, if you watch some redstone videos, they'll show you that they've made a calculator, but they'll never show you how they did it. I cannot do that. I'm not sure how to make a calculator on here. I've started trying to. I've been watching videos on how to do it. And if you guys want, I can link those videos below. Yeah. For those of you who haven't watched my first Let's Play, I'll have an annotation on the screen, and you can watch it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what I did right, what I didn't do right, and I can improve. All I really need is your support. So, again, guys, thanks for watching. See you later. I forgot to mention a few things. This is another type of clock. It's the fastest one you can possibly make. It's fairly easy to make. I mean, it should be self-explanatory how it's made. But how it works is that one of the torches remains on. One of the torches is on the entire time. It doesn't matter which one, but one of them is on, and it just keeps flashing. So if we were to ignore what's showing up, if we were to put a sticky piston down right here, one thing with a sticky piston is if it extends and retracts fast enough, it can leave whatever block it has up there. So if we, like right now, the stone block is up, but it's turning on and off so fast that you can't even tell exactly where it is. So this is another type of clock. I wouldn't suggest using it unless you're using it to like shoot arrows out of a dispenser and you want it to kill someone quickly. And then the OR gate, to invert it, I realized it right after I had finished recording the first part. Simply just invert it afterward. So after that, you invert it again. And so whenever one of these is on, that'll be off. So, alright guys. Now that I've added those, I don't think I'm missing anything now. Thanks for watching.